Why? Am I the only one that seems to have watched it?
Yeah. You had more interest in it than I did.
Oh my gosh, dude! You guys gotta watch it.
You were the chosen one.
Only for that time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the heck happened with YouTube, but it's on. So,
like Yankee King,
it's all live. Anyway, let's jump to the next. Let's jump to the next trailer. And the next trailer I've got is Gladiator 2.
I remember that day.
I didn't watch
I never forgot it. That a slave could take revenge against an emperor.
Where were you born?
I don't know. I never knew a mother nor a father.
You will be my instrument.
Who are you?
Did you hear that crowd? The greatest temple Rome ever built. The Colosseum. Because this is what they believe in. Power.
General Acacius, there are victories yet still to come.
Rome has so many subjects. She must feed them.
They can eat more.
The arena turns slaves into gladiators, then gladiators into free men.
You have something in you. I knew it from the start.
Did you now?
Rage. And rage is your gift.
This is about survival! Survive! Hold together and when it charges, break for the wall.
Whose head could I give you that would satisfy this fury?
The entire Roman armies.
Too much.
The general will do.
Rome must fall. I need only give it a push.
We make it out alive. All right. Hands on the mausoleum floor. Blood stains the Colosseum doors.
This ring belonged to Maximus. Now I give it to you. What is the dream of Rome? Her people are not free.
I was owned. Now I will control an empire.
I will not waste another generation of young men for their vanity.
Strength and honor. This how Rome treats its heroes. Hands on the mausoleum floor. Blood stains the Colosseum doors. The gods have spoken!
You know, having just seen that trailer for the first time, visually looks great. It's a Ridley Scott film. What did we expect?
Mm-hmm.
Stop me if you guys have heard this one from me. I didn't watch the original in the theater.
Oh wow!
I missed it. GQ will know this. The first time I ever saw Gladiator was when Henry had me babysitting Isaac at his house.
Isaac.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first time I saw Gladiator ever in my life. He said, come babysit my son. Here, you never seen Gladiator? Here, throw it on. He threw it on from me. And that was the first time I watched it. I was enraptured by it. I'm struggling to figure out what really is the point of this film. But maybe that doesn't matter. Maybe just shut up, go watch the film because it's a Ridley Scott film and it's got Denzel, and it's got Pedro Pascal, and they're acting their asses off. And that's all you need. So, okay, I'm good.
Well, yeah,
two best ingredients.
It's probably going to be very entertaining.
Mm-hmm. Two best ingredients.
Are you not entertained?
Exactly.
Exactly.
The thing I take away from this, and I was ribbing my brother about this because my brother and Denzel have the exact same look, especially that hair, that same texture of hair and goatee and all that. So I was like, you moonlighting as an actor all of a sudden. But realistically, like it's funny that that's the second time that a Denzel movie has had that trailer music in it.
Yes, I was going to say the exact same thing.
Yeah, because Safe House used that exact same music, that exact same track. Obviously, this is a remix of it, but whatever.
Right.
Again, it's going to be another Ridley Scott, period piece epic. And that's fine. I have no problem with that. Whatever. I mean,
I just saw something because I looked up online Denzel's character because, like, again, people are saying, oh, it's not going to be historically accurate and blah, blah, blah. And some people do fail to remember that the Roman Empire is an empire and it was more than one country.
Right.
And granted, we probably don't know exactly what this guy looks like, but I did a search of his name. His name was Macrinus or whatever, former Roman emperor. And this is one of the pictures that came up.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty
Looks
damn
black
close.
to me.
Yeah. So historians might think he was a melanated person. So that's probably why they got a person with melanin.
Well, it's only ignorant people that think all the black people were completely in Africa the entire time. That and none of them were educated.
Yeah, Moors don't exist.
I'm sorry?
Moors don't exist.
And Moors don't exist. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. All right. Moving right along, let's watch this one.
Why can't you be a normal person with normal friends?
Well, I've Scott.
Jeez.
Pass, Kevin.
You got to stop it with all these Vikings and the ancient Greeks.
Greeks.
As well.
Mom, my wardrobe's moving. Whoa!
Okay.
Hold on. How is he here?
What's going on?
Your room. It's a time egress.
I've never done that before.
And it allows us to travel throughout the universe.
Tell me who you are, or I will kill you.
I am Penelope, and I am, in effect, the leader. Fundamentally, though, we are all equal.
Who are you guys?
We're the Time Bandits, a crack team of expert thieves. Nothing is too big for us to steal. Oh, okay, now that we're close, maybe it is too big to steal.
You have a map that can take us through time. Wow, Musa, some people say you're even richer than Jeff Bezos from Amazon.
Wealthier than the mighty Jeff Bezos of the Amazon.
That wouldn't be a war, would it? That wouldn't be a war, would it?
Oh, Mansa Musa, supposedly the richest man that has ever lived.
Bring me that map.
Mansa Musa.
I could create a universe of pure evil. Stop laughing.
It's evil, therefore it's serious.
Return the map.
What did everyone steal? I got this beautiful vase.
Vase.
Oh,
Vase.
vase?
Vase.
Everyone got a vase?
Yeah.
Thanks you all. For a brief moment in my life, I felt like I was part of a team.
Yes, okay. Let's take him home.
This isn't my house.
Yeah, there's your family over there.
They're not my family.
But they look exactly like you.
This sounds like a family matter, and we should give them space.
Okay, so initial reactions, right? You hear the name Taika Waititi, and some people immediately cringe. I admittedly am one of them, right?
I'm not.
He's an acquired taste. He has some things that hit, he has some things that don't. This is perfectly right up his alley. This looks funny. This looks like something I will watch. That's all.
I might have to cop somebody's Apple TV because I'm not signing up for another one.
I hear you. Man.
Yeah, I can't
hear
do
you
it either. I did see. I saw the original Time Bandits when I was young, so I mean, kind of
Yeah,
nostalgic.
I missed out on that one. I missed out on that.
Yeah, it was kind of one of those things that it had to been acquired taste. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You had to be there.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's going to be a TV show, so whatever, you know, destination of the week or however they're going to spread it out or whatever.
Yeah,
that's fine. Some people, as Hand of Omega was saying, I guess there won't be dwarves anymore. I don't really care. Like I said, I have no attachment to the original, so whatever changes they make, is what it is.
Exactly.
You know, I'm past the point of everything that's a remake has to be exactly like the original, because otherwise, why remake it?
Exactly. All right. A couple of quick more trailers, and then we'll get to the Acolyte. Here's one.
京都へ急ごう。本当に人斬りに戻らねばならぬか否か、答えは必ず京都にある。
この俺が直々にぶっ殺してやる。
抜刀斎に戻る気はない。そのために一人を選んだんだ。
謙信を必ず連れて帰る。
俺も京都へ行くぜ。
私は絶対もう一度王子様たちと会うんだ。
抜刀斎をやれるのはこの俺だけだ。
気が向いたら京都へ来てください。僕たちはそこで待っていますから。
期待してるぜ。これから京都で始まるのはやった者勝ちの殺し合いなんだ。
お主が獅子王誠でござるか。
君ぐらいつけろよ。無礼な先輩だな。
So, obviously, some people feel a certain kind of way because of Nobuhiro Watsuki, and the things that he was in. Some people can't separate the art from the artist. In certain cases, I can't either. In this case, I can because I love Kenshin so much. And it's not like I'm buying it. And you know, I think the whoever is reanimating it, it's a worthy studio it's a worthy project to reanimate, because we all know that in the original it had a whole bunch of filler because the manga was still going at the time. The remakes that that usually come out in this time are devoid of filler, and that's exactly what this is. It's literally just taking the manga arc and reanimating it. Now, this is the most popular arc in the Kenshin manga, the Shishio arc in the Kyoto Disturbance. So I'm very much looking forward to that. The only thing I've always knocked this remake for is the music isn't quite as good as it was in the 90s show. The 90s show music was great. The 90s show music,
especially that ending theme song.
Oh man, it was so great, so good, so
Jeez,
good.
that is still hits.
Yes, to this day.
You want to know something funny? So
yeah, man, go ahead.
You know, my brother Waffles was into watching Kenshin, right?
Yeah.
He literally sold half of the series and kept the Shishio arc. That's the only arc he liked.
I wish I didn't sell any of it.
Yo, man, because like literally, if you're gonna sell
that was the best arc. That was the best arc, though.
Watching Kenshin, if you're gonna sell someone on watching Kenshin, literally just stick with the Shishio arc and you're good. That's it. Yeah, that was
like literally the best arc, and I didn't even blame him when he got rid of it all. I was like, dude, yeah.
Hand of Omega is saying, "Why? What did this creator do? Should I even ask?" I'll leave it to you to.
Yeah, you go look it up. You'll see.
You go look it up. You go ahead and look it up. All right, moving right along. Can't wait for this to come back. Can't wait. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
Oh wow!
Ooh.
Yeah.
Tell y'all out there.
This is
y'all skip solo.
Y'all don't know.
Solo leveling.
Solo leveling was amazing.
Y'all don't know. This dude
y'all just don't get it.
Way past OP. I still got 16 chapters to go to finish.
Are you finished? Did you start reading it?
I've been reading it. I just put it down. I'm on 184 right now, and like
Bam. When I tell you that When I tell you that I was in the middle of season 1, I picked that thing up and finished it in 3 days. I never stopped reading it. I had to finish it because it was so good. That's how you know. That's the season.
I mean, it is really good. I just kept going over and over again, but then like I was reading on my tablet, and then I would put that down, and then like forget, and then on my phone it wasn't synced, so I just like the 184. It's only 200.
Yeah, so it's a quick read. Like if you want to pick it up and really get through it, you can finish it in a couple of days. So if you have it, it's an excellent story. I would recommend anybody go out and go and read that.
Really
it is. Story. It's really good. Anyway, so this is the last trailer.
Another beautiful day.
Surprised to see you out here, Detective. Jane Doe. Found her down here by the water.
Cause?
Blunt force trauma.
What happened to you? I have a lead in the case. But I can't shake this feeling I'm seeing it wrong.
Is this really how you see yourself? That witch is gone, leaving you trapped in her distorted spell. Claw your way out.
I miss the glory days. She took every bit of power I had, but I can beat that witch again. Well, the gang's all here. Let's hit the road. I'm gonna walk the witch's road. The road is a death wish. Join me.
What witch in her right mind would join Agatha Harkness's coven?
Not looking for right-minded witches, as it happens.
Sweetheart, you okay?
Oh my God! Whoa! What's she doing? Where's she going?
So, what I can really appreciate about this series is that it's leaning into magic and horror, which I know a lot of the other Marvel series really haven't done. Even Doctor Strange, it wasn't really horror. It was more like psychedelic, you know? Or Werewolf by Night did it too. This one seems to be leaning into it, which is great. It shows another side of Marvel that potentially could reach another segment of fandom that might not be into superheroes or aliens or multiverse stuff. It gives them something to latch onto, and if they love it, then that's great. I think that's gonna be great.
They would definitely have to redeem themselves with Ghost Rider if they want to continue with the horror. If they're trying to piggyback off this and then Werewolf by Night, Ghost Rider will be next, but then they have to find what's David Wan who did what the hell? I know he did a horror movie. I can't remember the name. I can't think of the name of the
You mean James Wan?
Yeah, James Wan. That's what I'm thinking.
James Wan that did Conjuring, I think he did.
Yeah. Get him do it's man.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, Hand of Omega says reminds me of Sabrina / Nancy Drew. Okay. All right. Hand of Omega says doesn't look MCU at all. And that's the beauty. That's the beauty of it. It doesn't look like MCU at all, which expands, I think, the concept that the MCU doesn't have to be pigeonholed or boxed in to being one thing. It can be all of these things. Does that mean that Agatha is going to connect the bigger, wider world? Maybe, maybe not. And that's okay. I think that's okay. It can just be what it is, in my opinion.
I hope it be what it is. The problem is, as you have seen, when anything is trying to be its own original stuff, people won't let it. Like, oh, it wasn't like this in the comics. Oh, it wasn't like this, and it doesn't connect. Oh, it doesn't do this.
Yeah.
So I would like to
you're
be able to watch it, and it'd be nice if people just, watch it and look at it as its own thing. But because Agatha was in something else, and then that person was in something else, their expectation is going to be, well, it has to be like this. So we'll see. I'm going to watch it, and I'm probably going to think it's going to be I don't know. I'll see when I tell you when we start watching.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, people, we come to the main
Han
topic
has got an
today.
interesting take. He said standalones are fine, but it's long past time they started using their shared universe.
What do you guys say to that? They built a shared universe for a reason. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead, GQ. What were
I
you
don't
saying?
know. I mean, realistically, they've been using the shared universe. They had 3 phases of shared universe and ended it with Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had a shared universe and finished it off with Endgame. Not finished it, but I mean, it's still ongoing. But then people complain that it's too much homework and too much this and too much that. So it's like, can't have it both ways. So for me, whatever they make, watch it. If you remember it, cool. If not, rewatch it and figure it out and make sure you understand why certain things are happening in movies and don't complain when you don't understand something.
Yeah.
This is how I look at it.
Right. And for me, I think even in the comic books, right? Not every comic connected to everything else, right?
No.
There were certain things that existed in its own realm, and they were in their own corner of the Marvel universe. Had nothing to do with the cosmic stuff or anything like that. They were its own thing. So this idea that everything that is in the MCU, it's all connected. I think they're over that. I think they're past that.
If I'm mistaken, Agatha, didn't she have her own series? I don't know if she had her own book.
She was always a secondary character.
Yeah.
She was always a secondary character. Like at one point, she was the babysitter for Franklin Richards for Sue Reed. I know that.
No.
She was also. Oh no, she was the babysitter. She was the babysitter
it?
for Wanda's twins. That's
Yeah.
what it was.
Yeah, and then also she was what's the name? Wanda's, like, I guess, teacher or whatnot.
Yeah. Also Wanda's teacher. Yeah. All that is true. All right, y'all. Let's get to the Acolyte episode 7. The penultimate episode of the Acolyte. It's been 24 hours. I've fully absorbed everything that happened in there. Had a good reaction to what happened yesterday or last week, or last night, excuse me. And the only thing to say is that Saul fucked this whole thing. Like literally, everything Saul is 100%.
No, not 100%. It's Saul and Torben. Torben also, if he didn't take off, if he was there, I want to go home.
Oh, go ahead and finish. Go ahead.
I want to go home. If he didn't freaking like, oh, well, if there's proof of this, what do you call it? Oh, God darn it, I lost the word. It's in there somewhere. The thing that they were looking for. What do they call it? Resurgence?
Medical range?
Virgins. The virgins.
Sorry. Yeah.
The virgin.
Claiming that, the twins are the virgins, so I'm gonna go grab them so I can go home. He's the one that started that, but sold it. Says I'll stop him, but he didn't stop him.
And that's what makes it Soul's fault, in my opinion. So Torben was manipulated, and there's a lot of people saying a lot of that in the chat, and we'll talk about all that. Right? We acknowledge that the Jedi as a whole, let's be specific. Those Jedi on Brendok messed it all up. They messed it all up. And yes, it wasn't just them. It was a confluence, in my opinion, a confluence of things that happened that exacerbated things and built up, what was essentially a powder keg waiting to explode. And then it just blew up. Literally and figuratively. Yes. Then it just blew up. I hand it over to you guys. What else do you guys got to say about episode 7?
Well, I liked it. Outside of the pacing, my only issue so far with the story has been these half-hour-long episodes. I think they should be longer, where they can actually sprinkle in more information and do it a little bit where it doesn't feel like it's heavily truncated. But I don't mind having a new story being told, and I'm appreciating everything I'm seeing. Like I said, I just wish it was hour-long episodes, but they can just feel like they take the time. Not hour-long episodes where they can take episode and episode merging together. Just be able to pull out more episodes, because from what I'm gathering, a lot of people who have legitimate issues with the show, not the troll baiters, not the ones saying it's messing up the lore, not those people. The people are saying like some of the stuff wasn't shot well, or I don't care about these characters. It's like typically if you have a little bit more time with the characters to get to, understand them, like them, you can probably like a little bit more, because I do think some people don't like a show if they don't give a shit about the characters. If they don't really care about anybody in the show, why watch the show? So,
can we just say that the Jedi are what they are, and or what Dennis Green say? They are who we thought they were.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, yeah, it's like at the end of the day, they claim to be about peace, but I guess again, another quote, at a certain point of view, because they want everyone to think they're on, they're about peace, they're about balance and everything, but they always truncate their own points of view on certain other people. It's like, yeah, this baby's like, oh yeah, this baby's like force sensitive, so we're gonna take this baby and then train him not to even think about you once we leave, and he'll never come back, or how they are. And then the next the instance that when they have that's kind of the reason why most races don't really trust the Jedi, or are not like willing to kowtow to the Jedi. So yeah, that's kind of what I was like when I first saw the episode. I was like, yeah, I kind of get where some of the races was like, man, F them Jedis, literally.
Yeah. To answer Hand's question, if you guys can hear me, Hand Kelnaka was not a Padawan.
He was Jedi Knight.
He was a Knight.
That's why you needed a collective to actually hold control over him. So he definitely was not a Padawan like Torben, who was just weak altogether. But again, I said, the Jedi in and of themselves are horribly flawed. Just in the sense of, it's like, okay, there's a virgins. Okay, cool. Just because there's a virgin does not mean you have any claim over taking control of that virgins or anything related to that virgins. The virgins is what it is. So y'all showing up, Saul coming in there, breaking and entering first off.
Straight up beanie.
Straight up.
All did first.
And this is like, then y'all roll up in there. Well, stop doing what you're doing because we said so. It's like, who the hell are y'all? Like, it's like we live here.
Yeah,
these are our customs. This is what we do. I don't give a damn what y'all Jedi do.
Like straight up
rocks. Like,
Mother Coral told
what the Jedi don't seem to understand.
And Mother Coral told him straight up, right? Straight up said, "You guys are trespassing here. Get the F on somewhere." Like, Saul was a habitual line stepper throughout this entire series. The entire series.
Well, maybe the times. Well, this. Yeah, you are. You are right. You are right. But this episode, he was straight up like, man, if you don't
I
get your
want what I
ass up
want.
out of here.
Right. Yeah. So, okay. So I know some people are going to feel a certain kind of way about this character, but for me, Mother Anastasia was a really good mother, in my opinion. I know a lot of people want to say the whole thing about, oh, well, the perception of Sith witches, they're bad and all this kind of stuff. No, Mother Anastasia was a good mom. Like, she listened to her children, even though she feared for their safety and she wanted what was best for them. She ultimately wanted to honor Osha's wishes and let her go with the Jedi. So for me, think Mother Anastasia, it was a really good character after she got fleshed out, even though it's only been 2 flashbacks episodes. I find no fault in anything that she did. Well, do we want to blame her for what she did to Torben?
Maybe she was doing that just to show her power. Like, look, listen, you can't just come up in here and think you guys can control anything because I'm probably just as powerful as you are. Watch. According to I think it was Screen Crush, they were saying that supposedly that's how it looks like when you're being Jedi mind controlled on the inside. That's what they think, is when she told him to kneel, he kneeled. So I guess on the inside, that was what it supposedly looks like. That's their take on it.
That's why I'm gonna say it. There's always a bigger fish.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, and Dado had alluded to this earlier. One of the, I guess, legitimate gripes is the pacing of this show. That is definitely one of the things that needs massive improvement. This episode, a lot of people said this is just, the same episode again. And I can understand that criticism, essentially, because a lot of it was, retreaded. Essentially, it's just like, okay, we shot it from this angle. Now here's the other angle. Basically, it's kind of the feel that you got. And I mentioned this last night on the watch party. They would have benefited from starting off with Saul telling her, hey, I'm going to tell you all of this, and then quickly rehash that story and go back and fill in those gaps. And then once you get to the part that she lived through, let her argue back. No, I don't agree with you. I don't, whatever. And they could have, wrapped all this up in like 15 minutes and then had 15 minutes more of something else to push the story along. So that was my main problem with this particular episode. It was great to see Kel Naka. We finally get to see a Wookiee fight with a lightsaber, use the Force. They were getting their butts handed to him because, that in and of itself is the scariest idea of like, that's basically exactly. That's like giving the Hulk a lightsaber and the ability to use the Force. It's like, dude, I'm done. I'll see y'all when he tires out and goes to sleep. Exactly. I'll be back.
The problem is they kept trying to, and the funny thing, they were trying to stop him and failing at every turn. It's like, dude, chill out.
I'll give Saul some credit. My man did his damnedest to fight him one-on-one, hand-to-hand, essentially, and no lightsabers to, like, cut off limbs or anything like that. He literally was doing his damnedest. So I give Saul some credit, man. That boy can fight. He's some good. He's good.
No
that boy good.
That boy good.
Yeah, exactly. That boy good.
That boy good.
Yeah, but it was like, again, that was awesome. That's something they could have highlighted, and then, like I said, I would have liked to seen some more Chimera and Osha, like, pick up from her, being tempted to the dark side, because now she put the helmet on or whatever, felt what it felt like. So it's like they could have picked up some of that. So because unless this last episode that's coming up is 2 hours long, there's a lot of story that they have got to try to fill. And again, I'm not saying that they are going to do that. Maybe they are trying to shoot for a cliffhanger, but I think with the pacing that this series has had so far, if they try to end on a cliffhanger, they're gonna make a lot of people mad,
including me. I'm gonna be one of them. I'm gonna be real mad if they do that, because, like you said, they could have done so much better creatively to edit this thing together and tie a lot of these story threads and get rid of this slow burn BS that they've been doing. Like, they've been dripping information the entire series. Yeah, a problem is these are half-hour episodes. But you know what else had half-hour episodes? The Mandalorian. And they managed to do a really good job telling a story in those 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
They're not doing that here.
They kind of needed. They kind of needed the whole Luther effect with these episodes. Shit, because at the way the pacing is going, I don't think, like Darian said or Dido said, the 30 minutes is not good enough.
Well, the thing is, if the writing is solid, because like, okay, let's look at, now granted it's a movie, but look at Rogue One. Rogue One introduced at least 5 characters that you cared about by the end of the film, and you knew they were going to die. You knew each and every one of these characters was going to die because you had never heard of them before, never seen them in anything else, whatever. So they were able to get you to care about those characters in that 2-hour movie. This is a series that's got 8 episodes, so we're talking at least 4 hours. So make it happen. It's not always just that you need an extended amount of time. You just need really compelling storytelling and good pacing to make you care about these people.
Yeah, and that's literally, I think, the problem with this show is that whoever Leslie Headland, I know she's gotten her flowers from some of the other projects that she's done. In this one, I just don't think it's being told tight enough. There's too much opportunity for editing things to be a lot tighter. I was telling you guys last night in the watch party chat that I feel like this is similar to the Obi-Wan situation where someone's going to create a good super edit of this show, and it's going to be so much better, than the half-hour drip here and there than what we've gotten here. And that all of that just reflects to me poorly on Leslie Headland and the editors of this series, because how they're choosing to tell this story is really frustrating, I think, for some people, but ultimately it's really not as effective as it could have been. Now, this one moment here was another controversial moment for a lot of people. And it shows the twins standing apart from each other. I had some issues with this one, right? Because obviously, Soul's trying to hold them both up. Bay and Osha. This motherfucker says nothing to either one of them. Say, hey, why don't you run back to safety or get try and jump across and I can maybe save both of you. No, don't say nothing. Then just drop your hand and just literally just make one just die.
Well, something that was brought up, 2 things. Gosh darn it. I forgot. The first thing, the pacing, I think it's Disney execs because they want to put it on ABC one day. I think they were like, hey, we could put this on network TV and put commercials in it and sell it. That could be the pacing thing. And then going to this right here is, if you think about it, and this was also brought up, which I didn't think about it, but watching Screen Crush, he just got out of a fight with a goddamn Wookiee. This man didn't have any stamina to friggin'.
Okay, I'll give you that. He still could have said something.
He probably
did
could
yell
have said something.
He did yell Osha. He still could have said something.
He might have been.
He definitely could have said something, but my man had a straight up. He had a straight up like obsession with Osha, dude. I'm like, this is borderline scary. Like, why are you so pressed over this kid?
Yeah, it was creepy.
Like it
I
was
must have this
weird. The way it was portrayed in this episode was weird.
Yeah, man.
Like the Force is telling me this is going to be my Padawan.
Yeah, it's like
he must be my Padawan.
It's like, come on, Saul. Like,
yeah, like him manipulating things to go his way. His open defiance of the council, his open defiance of Indara in a lot of ways, right? I saw Takeem say something like that. Indara was a horrible leader in the comments earlier, right? I don't necessarily think Indara was a horrible leader. She was the most rational person. She was the most rational person on the entire planet outside of Kel Naka. Kel Naka didn't do anything. He was literally just a tool that got manipulated. Indara,
yeah, but she was the typical Jedi, though.
In what way? Okay, typical Jedi in what way? Right? She tried to
the
follow
whole
the
like
rules?
Dogmatic mind view.
She legitimately was that whole, don't allow the attachments. Don't worry about the, your thoughts and don't let your ambition. It's like, I get all of that. But at the same time, it's like, you're not, like, for example, don't try to help her with the test. He didn't really help her with the test. It's tell the truth. That's all he said. Tell the truth. Like that movie that Will Smith was in.
Tell the truth.
Concussion, concussion or whatever.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, that's the only quote unquote coaching he gave. It's like, just tell the truth.
Just be honest.
Okay, that's not helping her. That's not like stepping over any bounds or whatever. So again, I get it. That's the character she's supposed to be. She's supposed to be the the master, and she's supposed to be the one that's most like the council.
And she did the right thing in every case, and we can go ahead and just
Zakeem was 100% right, and Dara was weak.
We can go ahead and just say the Jedi Council in this whole deal tried to do the right thing. They said, look, these girls are too old. Y'all already done overstepped way too much by breaking and entering into their space. Get the hell out of there. Leave them alone. They just ignored all that.
Yeah.
So,
two people did again.
Two people, two people did.
Pretty much like Saul and Torgon were like those like Jehovah's Witness that don't take no for an answer.
Interesting.
You told him like, hey man, get up off my lawn.
Tobin said, "I'm going home."
Right.
Right.
So hey, Hannah Omega brought up something kind of interesting. He says, personally enjoying the show, but the creators' comments are a bit of a bait and switch. This is not a show about the Sith and their POV at all. It's very centered around on the Jedi. And he is very much right, but potentially could also be, I can't even say he's wrong, right? I feel like the Jedi perspective is being presented heavily, but I also think the Sith perspective is being presented heavily in the case that it's defying the perceptions that Sith or non-Jedi affiliated people are automatically bad, right? I think that's it's challenging the perception that the desire to study or the desire to use the Force is inherently bad if you're not a Jedi, or that the fact is, if you want to use the Force, the only people that can use the Force through legal means are the Jedi. I feel like that is something that's being challenged, and I agree with that, right? I don't think the Jedi shouldn't, the Force belongs to everyone, even by its whole, by the whole way it's defined by the Jedi. It's an energy field that surrounds all living beings. We don't have ownership over it. So why are we trying to mandate that the only people that can use the Force are us?
Well,
like that's wrong.
According to, again, because I watch a lot of those other YouTubers that will sit down and analyze things, read books, comic books, that there are more in the High Republic era religions, because the Jedi would be a Force religion. There are other ones out there that do different things that, but I guess because they tried to insert themselves as being the authority, and that's where the issue comes in, is because they're on Coruscant, they make plans with the government or whatnot, and even though apparently they're not as close with the government as they were in the prequel days, that they go out and assume that their authority is law. But you got that in the beginning, that you thought that they were there for those girls and we're going to take them because you guys aren't supposed to raise them. And then this episode said, no, they weren't there for the girls. And had they just listened, because what happened, it was hubris for Soul, and at least I think so. And for Tobin just being a freaking irrational, his master should have had more of a lockdown on that. Like, look, stop,
100%.
You don't go anywhere. Don't do what you're gonna do. This is not what the council is. It's not what I'm doing. Don't do anything. And
he's a worse version of young Anakin. because he's not quite as skilled to pull off some of the stupid shit that he tries to do.
I mean, he might be a little bit skilled. He didn't die fighting Konaka.
I'll give him props for holding his own against a possessed Konaka. I'll give him props.
He
Yes,
didn't die. I mean, he did get scarred the heck up, but he didn't die. So
yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. So okay, this is we touched on it briefly. Do we think this show is going to satisfactorily wrap up this story with no lingering plot threads next week?
No.
That's a no. That's one no. What do you think?
No, because like I said, that would literally be them learning how to do good pacing within the last episode.
Yeah,
that's
and nothing they've shown so far has said they can do.
They've already left like 3 big unanswered questions already. May fell off or whatever, so we need to see the aftermath of what happened to her between in the past, like okay, her journey to meet up with Chimera. We don't necessarily need to see it, but I mean that's an unanswered question.
Yes,
we need to catch up with the current thing with Osha trying on the helmet and being tempted by the quote unquote dark side. So it's just like they've got too many possibilities of things that they need to tie up or at least address, and they got 30 minutes, according to their standard time that they've been using now. So it's like there's a lot that they could do, and it is very possible, but from what I've seen out of their style so far, no.
Yeah,
episode 5 so far has been their outright best, episode, just from a sense of content, action, concept of like, again, back to Han's point, the whole idea of this was this, Sith POV. That was the first time you ever got anybody that even would remotely be classified as a Sith talking about how they feel about the Force and what their goal is. So we'll see.
Is that Magnum's
new name?
No.
Is that Magnum's Corvette? No.
Well, Magnum was in the Ferrari. This is a Corvette.
Okay.
And they didn't give me enough pieces because I'm supposed to have pieces to put on the freaking sides here to have side view mirrors, and they didn't.
Hey man, you shopping like a billionaire on Temu, so.
Well, it is not a Lego; it's a Mold King. But real quick, I'll be right back. You guys can.
That's cool. So, can we talk about how in episode 7, the one I started to feel the worst for is May. May was manipulated by everybody. She was manipulated
Corvette,
by
Lambo, same thing.
I feel like she was manipulated by Mother Coral. She was somewhat manipulated by Chimera. She was because literally all she wanted was to keep her family together and stay with her sister. You had the perception that May started this fire and she did a really, really evil thing, when really it was Mother Coral that kind of like got in her head and pushed her to be angry and say, hey, do this, go do this bad thing, make her stay, do this, give in to your anger, do all this other kind of stuff. And then she realized the gravity of her actions, and she was like, oh, no, this is a mistake. I need help. Let me go get help. I feel bad for May. She's the one I feel the worst for, honestly.
She did kind of get the best.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry, you go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that is an unfortunate photo of her. Like her eyes look like they're about a mile apart. Dang. I don't know. Maybe she might grow into her face. I don't know. I don't know. But no, that is the point of her character, though. She is supposed to be the malleable one that basically just everybody can manipulate and easily push and use. That's kind of the point of her character.
Unfortunate.
I do think it's funny that how people are like, how the heck did this place burn? And she just freaking, and it's stone. It's like she threw it in a bunch of electronics. Those electronics started to short shit out, which also caused a chain reaction.
Yes, sir.
Boom. Anyway.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, so we'll have to see how this whole thing wraps up next week. I have a feeling at the end of the day, because I'm very much next week. I'm going to rank season 1 as compared to all the other Star Wars shows that's coming before it. But based off of the pacing issues that we've had, it's starting to trend downwards. I might like Book of Boba Fett better than this show.
Whoa. Book of Boba Fett is dead last for me.
It's dead last for me too. But because of the pacing, it's not the idea
Boba
behind
Fett's
the
pacing
story.
was worse because these motherfuckers jumping. Ooh, pass. Woo, no pass. Woo, pass. Woo, woo,
I would love for you to rewatch Book of Boba Fett and then see if it's really as bad as you remember.
Yeah, I would
or
definitely
is you just
rewatch
frustrated.
it. But
Yeah, just rewatch it and see if you think it's as bad.
I got too much shit to watch, bro. To go
I hear you. I know. I hear you, man. I hear you. But
Book.
Go ahead, man.
Book of Boba Fett benefited from a Mandalorian injection.
Oh, 100%.
That's what Book of Boba
100%.
Fett benefited from.
Yeah,
100%. No lie. No lie.
That little bit of Mandalorian
lie.
in the middle helped Book of Boba Fett. That was it. Yeah. That was it.
True. No, you're right about that. You're right about that. Anyway, so that's about it for this show. Unless you want to,
real quick. The reason why I got up is because you guys were talking about my car. You thought it was a Lamborghini, and I wanted to show this. This one is Lego's version, Lego's branded Corvette. This is Mold King's Corvette. Which one do you like more? I don't think they're the same year.
No, easily the one on the left has better details.
Which one? This one?
Mm-hmm.
Is this my left? This is my right.
The stage left is your right hand.
Stage left. Okay.
Yeah.
So in the backside, blah blah blah.
Look at that cheap look at that cheap spoiler in the back. Like what?
I don't get
plastic.
That. It is.
Like, what is that?
I don't quite get that, but yeah,
that James Bond shield going on.
That's what they put on here. But yeah, so Lego versus Mold King.
Yeah. So anyway, Hand of Omega says all these J-Lo fans up in here and no one watched Atlas. Like, who said I was a big J-Lo fan?
First off, I did watch Atlas, and a lot of people are ragging on it how it was really, 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 really bad. And I'm just like, felt like another science fiction movie where it was just.
Wait, you mean you saw Titanfall?
I guess so. I never played Titanfall. I don't even have the first Titanfall. I think I have Titanfall 2 because it was like $2.
The best one.
I never played it.
Titanfall 2 was the best one.
But I guess I will play it one day. Hopefully.
For some reason, GQ was talking all that time and I didn't hear a word that he said. That's weird. We have to figure that out. Why in the world that is happening? Did you guys hear him?
Yeah. I heard him.
Interesting. I didn't hear a word he said. Anyway. I don't know why that is. That is so crazy. Kenshiro knows he has a life-size JLo standee out of front. Wow, really? I don't think so, man. She's not the person I would have as my standee. If I had my choice, that's not who she would have.
Yeah, Titanfall 2 was super budget title for everybody. I think everybody picked that up for like little or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, super inexpensive. I was like, why not? When I see games and they're cheap, I might buy them.
Yep. All right, so we're going to go ahead and wrap up the show for today. Thank you all for joining us. We run out of topics to talk about. We'll be back next week, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, for another great episode of Culture Junkies Live. We're moving ever closer to Wolverine and Deadpool's launch day. We're getting very, very much excited. I don't want to see nary another trailer, teaser, nothing. I'm in an embargo. I hope they don't release not another thing, for Wolverine and Deadpool before that movie comes out, because it literally needs to be silence from here on out. But people are starting to get excited, and I am too, for sure. So check back next week in all of our socials. Go join us on our Facebook group. And also, if you would love to join us in our watch parties, join the Discord, and you can watch us in the watch party every Tuesday when we watch that. We'll need to be picking a new show also, by the way, next week. Maybe we could start a poll.
The Watchmen.
What our The Watchmen ain't even gonna be out. What are you
I'm not talking about that one. Talking about
the HBO show. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Yeah, the HBO show was actually really good too. So we're talking about that. All right, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Hope you have a great week. We will see you guys next week. For my friends, the Great Adequaji, GQ, and Simon Says, I'm Kishiro. Peace out.
Bye-bye, everybody. A vroom vroom.